Good morning. Have you seen these videos of plants and how they sing and what they sound like? Not the like thumpity thump thump of cattails on a log or the whoosh of wind through trees. There are artists, botanists, who actually plug little clamps with wires attached to leaves and stems of plants, and they can sense the electric pulse coming up from the roots through the leaves, and they turn it into sounds. And they all make a unique sound. The plants literally sing. Mushrooms, as you can probably imagine, have some crazy sounds like whoop and pew. But think about that statement. You can imagine what a mushroom sounds like. You may have never heard of this practice, but as soon as I said it, you were all, yeah. I can totally see mushrooms being weird. And each plant and flower is like that. It's kind of incredible. Ferns play these ringing notes over a hum, like the raindrops that make it through a canopy. Orchids have a slow tinkling melody, like a languid version of Mozart. Fig trees are at a lower register, with these soft peak notes, like a Chinese zither. Snow willows make one stark sound, like the opening of a snowy scene. And now, obviously, choices have been made about which instruments to use to represent these sounds, and we can't ignore that. But the rhythms, the notes, they are all the same no matter what instrument you choose. If you play a melody on a violin or a piano, the sound is going to be different, but the song doesn't change. And it reminds me of whale song and how it was not that long ago that it wasn't common knowledge to know what that sounded like, and how their voices are instruments just like ours. And anyone who has ever worked in a garden will not be surprised by this, at least not in the general sense. Plants are pretty amazing, and gardeners know that. They can sing now too. Gardeners shrug. And like Mr. Furley from Three's Company, they respond, "Oh, can't say I'm surprised." So all this time, we've been talking to plants, which does help them grow, even if only in the scientific sense that you are breathing carbon dioxide onto them. And they have been singing back to us? Come on, how can you not see the awe in that? I feel a little bit of the opposite of the ultra view when I'm working in my garden or my flower beds. Intraview, maybe? I'm so focused on the minute patch of a ground, that the variety of the soil, the bugs I disrupt emerging from these mounds, the occasional spider trundling through the grass, whom I have come to be less frightened of, mostly, and call Buddy as I urge him to go in the other direction. Do they hear this song? Are they listening to this symphony that we empirically know now is playing? Does it sing also? Do the roly-poly squee? I can absolutely imagine them tumbling one over another in a cascade of wee, wee, wee. Like whales, like plants, do these garden dwellers have a song that they sing? It's a universe in miniature instead of maximum. Each large daylily or cluster of irises is a small sun, and its inhabitants of this system congregate around it, sometimes even traveling to other sun systems, spiders as cosmonauts, a galaxy as far-flung as the other side of the yard, 1,000,000 miles away. Looking up from weeding, I realize how small I have become and how vast the scope of this landscape. And of course, there's the old adage, nowhere nearer God's heart in a garden than anywhere else on earth, which I use as an excuse when the two priests who live by me go to and fro several times a day past my slightly unkept, slightly sometimes overgrown lawn. It's a work in progress, fellas, and aren't we all? From the poem Rainlight by W.S. Merwin. All the flowers are forms of water. The sun reminds them through a white cloud, touched with patchwork spread on the hill. The washed colors of the afterlife lived long before you were born. See how they wake without question, even though the whole world is burning. It's so hard not to be caught up in the cacophony of everything that's cruel and unjust and smug. My garden helps bring me back. Pride Fest helped bring me back. encouraging tiny things to grow, gently urging monsters in a new direction, little tiny monsters. Raising my head up to look around me, looking for new ways to see harmony in the world, and to learn how to hear it from unexpected places.